Hello and welcome back. In the last video, we looked at how to analyze open text survey questions. The responses to our sample question were, however, fairly thin. There were a lot of yes and no answers, such that it was easy for us to report our results numerically. And depending on your research question, that may be all you need. But many researchers want and need richer data. In this video, we'll look at this difference between sparse and rich qualitative data. Let's go back to our sample question. Have you been enjoying the video so far? One of the responses we got to this question was, good, but not what I wanted. This is a good example of a sparse response. But imagine if someone else provided the following response to our question. I'm a third-year university student studying education. As the first person in our family to go to university, teaching and learning have always been important to me. I hope that I can give back through my teaching. Next to being a teacher, I'm also hoping to incorporate research into my education career. One of the reasons I was interested in the video is that the type of research I'd like to pursue may include either surveys or more traditional qualitative research. I just started my first research course in education this semester. I've already watched a number of videos on the internet about surveys, but I was interested in this video because of its clear title. I did enjoy the video, partly because it was short and directly addressed the topic. Some of the ideas presented here are discussed in other videos I already saw. I wonder if this video should be seen more as an introduction, with links to videos that provide more detailed explanations of the techniques for analyzing open text questions also being provided. I watched this video but not the rest of the playlist, so that may impact my assessment. It would be good to have an option for another longer resource for students who want to explore analyzing open text questions further, and some references to the underlying text. This would be helpful to me during my research practicum, which I have to complete next summer. With all that said, thanks for making it. It added to my understanding of this topic. This would be an example of a richer response. Rather than thinking of sparse and rich data in categorical terms, it's better to think of it on a continuum. While a one-word response is as sparse as you can get, responses can always be made richer. So what are some of the ways that qualitative data can be richer? If we look at our two examples, we can see that the richer response is longer than the sparse one. One is 258 words, the other 7 words. If we got 10 similar responses, we would have 2,580 words of data to start with, compared to only 70 words. The sparse response is also pretty thin in terms of the details it provides. Richer data provides more details. It provides more context from which to interpret the response. It's more personal, so that you can start to distinguish a respondent's unique perspective. This more personal, contextual, and detailed account is also much more layered, in that we can start to take different features and consider how they impact each other. For example, we could explore how the fact that the person is taking their first research course is likely to impact their engagement with this video. One of the advantages of richer data is that it often brings to mind or spawns new research questions or aspects of a topic to explore. These features are all characteristics of richer data. So when is the data rich enough? Or should we always aim to get the richest data we can? I would say that the data should be rich enough to meaningfully answer your research objectives. If I'm only concerned with whether people are enjoying this video, it may be fine relying on fairly sparse responses. If I'm interested in exploring other topics, for example, how does a person's education impact their engagement with online research resources, I need richer data to explore this question. Just because you have data, it doesn't mean that you're able to make a contribution to every topic. Sparse data limits the type of analysis you can meaningfully conduct and the type of conclusions you can confidently make. If you're going to use fairly sparse responses, you should recognize the limitations. When you begin to work with larger and richer qualitative data sets, the meagerness of sparse data responses will become apparent. So how does a researcher get rich data? For the 5 methods we're discussing in this playlist, it's the respondents who provide the data. The richness of the data is therefore ultimately dependent on them. In our example, it seemed that we just got lucky upon a motivated respondent who provided an in-depth answer. But the choices that a researcher makes can influence the richness of the data that respondents provide. The choice of method and other research techniques can encourage richer responses. In the next video, we'll look at a method that aims to result in a richer data set to analyze while still using a survey structure. Thanks for watching, and hope you continue to the next video.